Now, about 38 years ago, a dear friend of ours, a guy named Vern Lindquist, walked into the studio one night and said, "Tracy, I want you to meet somebody." And he introduced me to Billy Bob Harris. And almost like at about the same time Troy and I became dear friends, Billy Bob and I became dear friends. And it's my great pleasure to be able to introduce my dear friend, Billy Bob Harris, who's with us today. We've been with each other through thick and thin.
Which we don't have to go into that right now.
No, we don't have to mention that.
That's right.
Okay.
But
well,
you've got people you're talking to and things to do these days.
Interview with successful Texans is Kathy Leonard, who, Jeff, I think you know. You said you knew Kathy. She's
Quite
with
well.
Kathy, with
Freeman+Leonard.
Freeman+Leonard, and she's been there for about 3 or 4 years. She brings a new approach to marketing services. She's going to tell it all about it. Hello, my name is Billy Bob Harris, and our outstanding guest today is Kathy Leonard with Freeman+Leonard. And now tell us about Freeman+Leonard.
Well, Freeman+Leonard is a new kind of marketing services firm.
Okay.
So we work with independent talent, outstanding talent, and through them we are able to offer clients the marketing and advertising services they need when, as, and how they need them.
Okay, let's go into
not
that.
when they don't.
Let's go into that. Suppose a widget company needed some advertising. So they could go to y'all and just use your pool of talent when they needed them.
That's exactly right. So the difference is generally a client, if they needed advertising work done, would hire an advertising agency. And through that agency, they would pay the overhead and the profit of the agency, and then they would probably be required to sign a somewhat long-term contract.
Understand.
But through our business model, we're able to offer them that same quality of service, the same kinds of things.
Okay.
They can still get an advertising campaign, they can still produce a 30-second television spot or produce a corporate meeting, but they only pay for what they use when and as they need it.
Okay,
So
okay.
there's not the same cost factor,
Okay.
nor the same long-term commitment.
Okay. Now, Kathy, tell us this. Turn around. From your client's standpoint, what are some of the unique opportunities that they get through your firm?
Well, with this amazing pool of talent that we have access to, we look for very unique, custom ways that we can offer this talent to clients. So in a more traditional sense, if they're looking to bring someone in-house, we can offer contract or full-time positions to fit in-house roles.
So you see a trend in this independent talent?
You know, we do. Economists tell us that coming out of this recession, about 50% of the new jobs created will be filled by contract and independent people, labor. And ultimately, 25% of all the workforce will be filled by independent and contract labor. So we feel that we are tapping into a trend that has a long-term opportunity for us. We have a group we call Imagine Nation.
Okay.
And Imagination is a network of creative thinkers. So when a client is really interested in the big idea for an advertising campaign or for a big promotion, we tap into this network of creative thinkers and they come back with ideas that will just knock your socks off.
Okay, I understand. Kathy, again, it looks like, no, it doesn't look like you're ahead of the curve. We wish you a lot of success with your company. Appreciate you coming out here, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
All right.
Interesting.
You have to be dynamic to have that kind of a dynamic firm, don't you? She seems like a dynamic
She
person.
really does. And like we talked about, Jeff, you've known her for a long time. I think she was president of 3 or 4 big organizations. But what she can do, Tracy, let's say that you have a logistics company and you're needing marketing help. She's got specialists in that that she can pull in, and therefore you don't have to hire them full-time. You can do it on a contract basis, the way I understand what she does.
There's a lot of talk about this freelance nation, and more people are independent contractors in whatever industry. And what she has done is aggregated some of the top performers in that industry and is able to, as she said, kind of strategically deliver services so that a client can tap into that talent without having to hire an expensive agency.
I see you believing in what she's doing.
I did.
She's going to use you as an independent, high-quality talent?
Well, so far we haven't figured out what that is yet.
We're still looking for it around here.
Look for that. Okay, yeah.
What could
Thanks,
that be?
Double B. Appreciate you.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
Billy
much.
Bob. Appreciate
Thank
you
you.
coming in.